Why do some people seem to glide through life's challenges, while others, despite being brilliant or talented, struggle to connect or cope? The answer often lies in emotional intelligence, a concept that Cole introduces as the true game changer for success. Unlike IQ, which measures cognitive ability, EQ is about understanding and managing emotions, both your own and those of others. It's the difference between reacting impulsively in a heated moment and pausing to choose a response that builds trust. It's the ability to sense someone's unspoken feelings and respond with empathy. It's the spark that turns good intentions into meaningful actions. This isn't a fantasy. It's the promise of emotional intelligence, or EQ, a skill set that can transform every corner of your life. Welcome to this audiobook summary of How to Master Emotional Intelligence and Social Skills by Tyler Andrew Cole. I'm your narrator, and over the next hour, we'll embark on a deep dive into this transformative guide, a book that doesn't just explain what emotional intelligence is but shows you, step by step, how to weave it into your daily life. Whether you're looking to strengthen relationships, excel at work, or simply find more peace within yourself, this book offers a roadmap. So, settle in, open your mind, and let's explore the art and science of mastering your emotions and connecting with others like never before. Introduction to Emotional Intelligence. Let's start with a question. Why do some people seem to glide through life's challenges, while others, despite being brilliant or talented, struggle to connect or cope? The answer often lies in emotional intelligence, a concept that Cole introduces as the true game changer for success. Unlike IQ, which measures cognitive ability, EQ is about understanding and managing emotions, both your own and those of others. It's the difference between reacting impulsively in a heated moment and pausing to choose a response that builds trust. It's the ability to sense someone's unspoken feelings and respond with empathy. It's the spark that turns good intentions into meaningful actions. Cole argues that EQ is the catalyst for success in nearly every area of life: relationships, career, mental health, and personal growth. Why? Because life isn't just about what you know, it's about how you show up. Emotional intelligence equips you to handle stress, resolve conflicts, and inspire others, making it not just a skill but a way of being. The book breaks EQ down into 5 core components: self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. Each piece builds on the others, creating a framework that empowers you to live with clarity, purpose, and connection. What's so exciting about this book is its promise. EQ isn't something you're born with, it's something you can learn. No matter where you are in life, you can develop these skills and see ripple effects in every interaction. Cole doesn't just explain the theory. He gives you actionable tools to start practicing today. So, let's dive into the first component and see how it sets the stage for everything else. Chapter 1: Self-Awareness, the Foundation of Emotional Intelligence. Picture yourself standing at the edge of a vast, uncharted landscape. The path ahead is winding, filled with moments of joy, challenge, and uncertainty. To navigate it, you don't just need a map. You need a compass, something to ground you, to help you understand where you are and why you're feeling the way you do. That compass is self-awareness, the very first step in mastering emotional intelligence, or EQ. I'm your narrator. We'll dive deep into self-awareness, why it's the foundation of EQ, and how it transforms your life through real-world examples that bring this concept to life. Let's begin with the heart of self-awareness. Cole describes it as the ability to recognize and understand your emotions as they unfold, not just naming them, like "I'm angry" or "I'm happy," but digging deeper to uncover why you feel that way and how those emotions shape your thoughts, decisions, and actions. It's like holding up a mirror to your inner world, seeing yourself clearly, without judgment, and asking, "What's going on here?" Self-awareness is about tuning in to the signals your mind and body send, tightness in your chest, a racing heart, a sudden wave of joy, and tracing them back to their source. Why is this so crucial? Because self-awareness is the bedrock of emotional intelligence. Without it, you're like a ship adrift, reacting to life's waves without understanding why you're swaying. With it, you gain control, clarity, and the power to choose your response instead of being swept away by impulse. Cole emphasizes that self-awareness isn't a one-time revelation. It's a practice, a habit of curiosity that grows stronger with time. And the best part? Anyone can develop it, no matter where you are in life. Let's paint a picture to see self-awareness in action. Imagine Sarah, a marketing manager in her mid-30s, sitting in a high-stakes team meeting. Her boss has just critiqued her latest campaign, pointing out flaws in front of everyone. Sarah feels a flush of heat in her face. Her stomach tightens, and a voice in her head screams, "This is unfair." In the past, she might have snapped back defensively or clammed up, letting resentment fester. But Sarah's been working on self-awareness, and today, something shifts. As the critique lands, she notices her body's signals, the racing pulse, the clenched jaw. Instead of reacting, she takes a slow breath and asks herself, "What am I feeling right now?" She identifies embarrassment and anger, but she doesn't stop there. "Why am I feeling this?" she wonders. She realizes it's not just the critique. It's the fear of looking incompetent in front of her team, a trigger rooted in her drive to prove herself. This insight gives her a moment of clarity. She chooses to listen to her boss's feedback, nod thoughtfully, and say, "Thanks for the input. I'll consider how we can improve." Later, she journals about the moment, noting how her fear of failure shaped her reaction and planning how to address it constructively. Sarah's story shows self-awareness at work. By recognizing her emotions and their roots, she didn't just avoid a conflict. She turned a tense moment into an opportunity for growth. She left the meeting feeling empowered, not diminished, because she understood herself. This is what Cole means when he says self-awareness sets the stage for emotional mastery. It lets you respond with intention, not instinct. Now, let's explore another example, this time in a personal setting. Meet Javier, a father of two navigating a busy morning. His kids are bickering over breakfast, his phone's buzzing with work emails, and he's running late for a meeting. As he snaps at his daughter to hurry up, he catches himself. A familiar wave of frustration washes over him, but instead of letting it take over, Javier pauses. He's been practicing what Cole calls emotional check-ins, moments to tune in throughout the day. He closes his eyes for a second and asks, "What's going on inside me?" Javier notices his irritation, but digs deeper. He realizes it's not just the chaos of the morning. It's the pressure he feels to be a perfect dad and employee, compounded by a sleepless night. This awareness shifts his perspective. Instead of yelling again, he kneels down, looks his daughter in the eye, and says, "I'm sorry I snapped, sweetie. I'm feeling a bit stressed. Let's get ready together, okay?" His daughter smiles, the tension eases, and Javier feels a weight lift. By understanding his emotions, he not only salvages the moment, but strengthens his bond with his child. What makes Javier's story powerful is how ordinary it is. Self-awareness doesn't require grand gestures. It's about small, intentional moments that add up. Cole offers practical tools to build this skill, and they're accessible to everyone. One is daily reflection, like journaling. Spend 5 minutes each evening writing about your emotions. What sparked joy, what frustrated you, and why. Over time, you'll spot patterns, like how certain situations trigger anxiety or pride, giving you a roadmap to navigate them better. Another tool is mindfulness, which Cole describes as paying attention to the present moment without judgment. Imagine you're stuck in traffic, feeling your temper rise. Instead of honking or fuming, you focus on your breath, noticing the warmth of your hands on the wheel, the rhythm of your inhales. This anchors you, helping you see your anger for what it is, a fleeting reaction, not a command to act. Mindfulness lets you observe emotions like clouds passing in the sky, not storms that control you. Cole also suggests seeking feedback from others. Let's see this in action with Aisha, a recent college grad starting her first job. Aisha's confident in her skills, but notices she's quieter in meetings than she'd like. Curious about how she's perceived, she asks a trusted colleague, "How do I come across when we're brainstorming?" Her colleague shares that Aisha seems thoughtful but sometimes hesitant, which might make others miss her ideas. This feedback is a revelation. Aisha realizes her hesitation stems from a fear of sounding unprepared, a fear she hadn't fully acknowledged. Armed with this insight, she starts preparing key points before meetings, speaking up earlier, and noticing her confidence grow. By inviting an outside perspective, Aisha uncovers a blind spot, proving Cole's point that feedback can sharpen self-awareness like a lens. These examples, Sarah in the boardroom, Javier at breakfast, Aisha in her new job, show self-awareness as a universal tool. It's not just for leaders or therapists. It's for anyone who wants to live with more clarity and control. Cole emphasizes that self-awareness isn't about perfection. You won't always catch every emotion or respond flawlessly, and that's okay. It's about progress, getting better at noticing, understanding, and choosing. Each time you pause to check in with yourself, you're building a muscle that makes every other aspect of emotional intelligence possible. Let's consider one more scenario to tie this together. Imagine Priya, a nurse working long shifts during a busy season. She loves her job but feels drained, snapping at her partner when she gets home. One evening, after a curt remark, Priya stops herself. Following Cole's advice, she practices an emotional check-in, asking, "How am I feeling right now?" She identifies exhaustion and guilt, exhaustion from her workload, guilt for not being her best self at home. Digging deeper, she realizes her stress comes from feeling stretched too thin, a pattern she's ignored for weeks. Instead of brushing it off, Priya acts on her awareness. She talks to her partner, saying, "I've been so tired from work, and I took it out on you. I'm sorry. I need to find ways to recharge." They brainstorm together, deciding Priya will take short walks after shifts to decompress. She also starts journaling, noting when stress spikes and what helps, like deep breathing or calling a friend. Over weeks, Priya feels more in tune with herself, less reactive, and closer to her partner. Her self-awareness doesn't erase stress, but it gives her the power to manage it, transforming her days and relationships. Chapter 2. Self-Regulation, Mastering Your Emotions. Imagine you're standing in the eye of a storm, emotions swirling around you, threatening to pull you off balance. Maybe it's anger flaring up in a heated argument, anxiety tightening your chest before a big moment, or excitement pushing you to act before you think. Now, picture yourself stepping back, steadying your breath, and choosing how to move forward, not because the storm disappears, but because you've learned to master it. That's self-regulation, the second pillar of emotional intelligence, or EQ, and it's what we're diving into today. We'll unpack self-regulation, how it empowers you to take control of your emotions, and how it plays out in real life through stories that bring it to vivid reality. Self-regulation, as Cole explains, is the ability to manage your emotional responses, especially in challenging or high-stress situations. It's not about shutting down your feelings. Anger, joy, fear, they're all part of being human. Instead, it's about channeling them constructively, staying calm under pressure, and choosing actions that align with your goals and values rather than letting emotions hijack the wheel. Think of it like a thermostat. Instead of letting the heat or cold overwhelm you, you adjust the dial to keep things steady. It's the difference between snapping at someone in a moment of frustration and pausing to respond with clarity and grace. Cole stresses that self-regulation builds on self-awareness. You can't manage what you don't recognize. Once you're tuned into your emotions, self-regulation gives you the tools to steer them. It's a skill that transforms how you show up in the world And the best part? It's learnable, adaptable, and incredibly practical. Let's see it in action through some real-world examples that show just how powerful this can be. First, let's meet Marcus, a software developer in his late 20s, facing a crunch at work. His team's racing against a deadline, and a colleague just pointed out a bug in Marcus's code during a tense stand-up meeting. The old Marcus would have bristled, his jaw tightening, his voice sharp as he fired back. "Well, why didn't you catch it earlier?" But Marcus has been practicing self-regulation, and today, he does something different. As irritation flares, he notices it, the heat in his cheeks, the urge to defend himself. Instead of reacting, he uses what Cole calls the pause. He takes a deep breath, counts to 5 silently, and lets the initial wave pass. In that space, Marcus reframes his thoughts. This isn't an attack, he tells himself. We're all stressed, and fixing this matters more than my ego. When he speaks, his tone is steady. Good catch. Let's figure out how to address it before the deadline. The team moves forward, tension eases, and Marcus feels a quiet pride. Self-regulation didn't just save the moment. It kept the project on track and preserved his relationships. Cole's point shines here. Pausing before reacting creates room for reason, turning a potential clash into collaboration. Now, let's shift to a personal scene with Lena, a single mom juggling a hectic day. Her teenage son, Ethan, forgot to take out the trash, again, and as she trips over the overflowing bin, frustration boils over. "Why can't you just do what I ask?" she snaps, her voice louder than she meant. Ethan storms off, and Lena's left with a sinking feeling. But then she catches herself. She's been reading Cole's book, and self-regulation kicks in. She steps back, closes her eyes, and focuses on her breathing, slow, deep inhales that ground her. Lena recognizes her anger, but she digs deeper. It's not just the trash. It's the exhaustion of parenting solo, the fear that Ethan's slipping away as he grows up. With this clarity, she uses a grounding technique Cole suggests, feeling her feet on the floor, anchoring herself in the present. When she's calm, she knocks on Ethan's door and says, "I'm sorry I yelled. I'm feeling overwhelmed, and I took it out on you. Can we talk?" Ethan softens, they sort it out, and Lena realizes self-regulation isn't just about control, it's about connection. By managing her emotions, she rebuilds trust with her son, turning a blow-up into a bonding moment. These stories highlight why self-regulation matters. It's not about never feeling upset, it's about what you do with that upset. Cole offers practical tools to make this a habit. One is reframing thoughts, like Marcus did, shifting from blame to problem solving. Another is stress relief techniques. Think deep breathing or a quick walk to diffuse emotional intensity before it spills over. He also suggests noticing physical cues, like Lena's clenched fists, as early warning signs to intervene before escalation. Let's explore another example with Priya, a retail manager dealing with an irate customer. The woman's shouting about a defective product, drawing stares from other shoppers. Priya feels her pulse quicken, her instinct to argue back or shrink away. But she's been practicing self-regulation, and she leans on Cole's advice. Stay calm, choose your response. She takes a moment to breathe, grounding herself by focusing on the cool counter under her hands. She tunes into her emotions, defensiveness, yes, but also a desire to help. Instead of matching the customer's volume, Priya says, "I can see you're really upset, and I'd feel the same way. Let's figure this out together." Her calm diffuses the tension. The customer lowers her voice, and they resolve the issue with a refund. Priya's self-regulation doesn't just save the sale. It earns her respect from her team watching nearby. Cole's insight rings true here. Self-regulation under pressure isn't just personal. It's professional, showcasing leadership and resilience. Chapter 3. Motivation, Fueling Your Drive. Imagine you're standing at the base of a mountain. The peak looms high above, shrouded in mist. Your goal, your dream, your reason for climbing. Some days, the path feels clear and your steps are light. Other days, the wind howls, rocks slip underfoot, and every inch feels like a battle. What keeps you going? It's not just willpower or luck, it's motivation, the inner fire that pushes you forward when the world says stop. We'll dive into motivation, how it fuels your drive within emotional intelligence, and how it plays out in real life through stories that light the way. Motivation, as Cole describes it, is the emotional engine of EQ, the spark that turns self-awareness and self-regulation into action. It's the force that gets you out of bed to chase your goals, whether they're big, like launching a career, or small, like finishing a task you've been dodging. Cole splits motivation into two flavors. Intrinsic, the kind that comes from within, tied to joy, purpose, or values, and extrinsic, driven by external rewards like money or praise. Both can move you, but intrinsic motivation is the deep well. It's what sustains you when the rewards dry up or the path gets steep. Why does this matter in emotional intelligence? Because knowing your emotions and managing them is only half the battle. Motivation is what bridges the gap to results. It's the why that keeps you pushing through setbacks, the fuel that turns awareness into achievement. Cole argues it's not something you wait for. It's something you cultivate, and he gives us tools to do just that. Let's see it in action with some real-world examples that show how motivation transforms lives. First, meet Amina, a 40-year-old nurse who dreams of opening a community health clinic. She's worked long shifts for years, saving every spare dollar, but the road feels endless. Permits, funding, doubts from friends who say, "Why bother?" Some days, exhaustion wins, and she wonders if she should quit. But Amina's been reading Cole's book, and she taps into motivation's power. She starts with what Cole calls finding your why. Why this clinic? It's not just a job. It's her chance to give back to her underserved neighborhood, to honor her grandmother who died without proper care. That deeper purpose reignites her. Amina sets clear, meaningful goals. Secure one grant this month. Meet one local leader next week, breaking the mountain into steps. Each small win, like a positive email reply, she celebrates with a quiet coffee moment, reinforcing her drive. When setbacks hit, a rejected application, she visualizes the clinic's future, kids laughing in the waiting room, and keeps going. Her intrinsic motivation, rooted in purpose, carries her through. Amina's story shows how Cole's strategies, connecting to your why, setting goals, celebrating progress, turn dreams into momentum. Now, let's shift to Carlos, a college sophomore struggling with finals. He's smart but distracted, scrolling social media instead of studying, his grades slipping. Extrinsic motivation once worked, good marks for parental approval, but it's fading. Then Carlos stumbles on Cole's idea of intrinsic drive. He reflects, why am I here? It's not just a degree. It's his dream of becoming an engineer, building bridges like the ones he marveled at as a kid. That why shifts everything. Carlos breaks his studying into chunks, 30 minutes on physics, then a break, making it manageable. He tracks progress on a sticky note wall, each checkmark a mini victory he celebrates with a quick dance. When his roommate tempts him with video games, he stays accountable, texting a study buddy. I'm in. Let's quiz later. His motivation isn't about grades anymore. It's about the bridge he'll design someday. Cole's tools, small steps, celebration, accountability, keep Carlos climbing, proving motivation can rewire even a scattered mind. Let's try a workplace lens with Priya, a sales rep facing a tough quarter. Targets loom, clients ghost, and her bonus feels out of reach. Extrinsic motivation, cash incentives, keeps her dialing, but it's not enough. Burnout creeps in. Then Priya tries Cole's approach. She digs for her intrinsic why. Sales isn't just numbers. It's solving problems for clients, like the small business owner she helped last month who hugged her in thanks. That memory lights her up. Priya sets a goal, 3 meaningful calls a day, focusing on connection, not just closes. She visualizes success, happy clients, a proud team, and tracks wins, like a follow-up email that lands a meeting. When rejection stings, she reframes it. They're not ready yet. Not a no forever. Her motivation shifts from chasing bonuses to building relationships, and her energy soars. Priya's example echoes Cole's point. Aligning goals with personal values creates a drive that outlasts external pressures. One more story. Meet Jamal, a stay-at-home dad re-entering the workforce. After years raising kids, he's nervous about a part-time gig at a bookstore. Doubts whisper, "You're rusty, out of touch." But Jamal taps into motivation's power. His why? To model resilience for his daughters, to show them it's never too late to grow. He sets a goal: master the register in week 1. Each shift, he celebrates small wins, a smooth transaction, a customer's smile, with a mental high five. When a rude shopper snaps, Jamal's tempted to shrink, but he visualizes his girls watching, proud. He stays positive, offering a calm, "Let me fix that for you." His accountability comes from his wife, who cheers his updates nightly. Jamal's intrinsic motivation, family, and growth turns a daunting leap into steady progress. Cole's framework shines here. Purpose, progress, and support fuel a comeback. These stories, Amina's clinic, Carlos's exams, Priya's sales, Jamal's return, show motivation's magic. Cole's tools are simple yet profound. Set clear goals tied to your values. Break them into steps, celebrate every milestone, and lean on your why when the going gets tough. Visualization keeps you focused. Accountability keeps you honest. Motivation isn't a fleeting muse. It's a muscle you build, driving you from awareness to action. One more scenario takes us to James, a college student facing exam stress. He's up late studying, caffeine buzzing through him, when his roommate blasts music despite James's pleas for quiet. Anger surges. He wants to pound on the door and yell. But James pauses, a trick he picked up from Cole's book. He notices his racing heart, his balled-up fists, and asks, "What's this really about?" It's not just the noise. It's the fear of failing, the pressure he's put on himself. James reframes it. "I can't control the music, but I can control my focus." He grabs noise-canceling headphones, takes a few deep breaths, and keeps studying. Later, he talks to his roommate calmly, setting a boundary for next time. Self-regulation helps James stay on track, proving Cole's point that it's about managing what you can, your response, when life feels chaotic. Chapter 4. Empathy, the heart of connection. Imagine sitting across from someone you care about, maybe a friend, a partner, a colleague, and really hearing them. Not just their words, but the tremble in their voice, the weight behind their silence, the emotions they're too afraid to name. Now picture yourself stepping into their world, feeling what they feel, and responding in a way that makes them feel truly seen. That's empathy, the beating heart of emotional intelligence, or EQ. We'll dive deep into empathy, how it forges connections, and how it plays out in real life through stories that touch the soul. Empathy, as Cole describes it, is more than understanding someone's feelings. It's sharing them, stepping into their shoes, and experiencing their joys or struggles as if they were your own. It's the bridge between hearts, the skill that turns a conversation into a moment of trust. Cole breaks it into 3 layers: cognitive empathy, grasping someone's perspective; emotional empathy, feeling their emotions; and compassionate empathy, acting to support them. Together, these weave a tapestry of connection that's essential to emotional intelligence. Why? Because empathy transforms how we relate to friends, co-workers, even strangers, building trust and understanding where none existed before. Cole insists empathy isn't just a gift some are born with. It's a skill you can nurture, a muscle that grows with practice. It's the glue that binds self-awareness, self-regulation, and motivation into relationships that matter. Let's see it come alive with real-world examples that show empathy's quiet, powerful magic. First, meet Sophia, a high school teacher in a bustling urban school. One of her students, Jamal, has been acting out, disrupting class, ignoring assignments. The old Sophia might have sent him to detention, frustrated by his attitude. But she's been exploring empathy with Cole's guidance. One day, after Jamal snaps at a classmate, Sophia pulls him aside, not to scold, but to listen. She starts with active listening, a tool Cole champions, giving Jamal her full attention, no interruptions. "What's going on?" she asks gently, her tone open. Jamal hesitates, then mutters, "It's my little brother. He's sick, and my mom's a mess." Sophia feels a pang, emotional empathy kicking in. She imagines the weight Jamal's carrying, worry, exhaustion, a kid forced to grow up too fast. Instead of a lecture, she says, "That sounds really tough. I'd be stressed too." Her words validate him, and his shoulders soften. With compassionate empathy, Sophia acts, offering extra time on his work and a quiet space to talk if he needs it. Jamal's behavior shifts. He starts engaging again. Sophia's empathy didn't just fix a classroom problem. It built a lifeline, proving Cole's point. Understanding opens doors punishment can't. Now let's step into a family scene with Ravi, a 30-something accountant navigating tension with his dad. They've clashed for years, Dad's old school, pushing Ravi to climb the corporate ladder, while Ravi dreams of freelancing. One evening, Dad grumbles, "You're wasting your potential," and Ravi feels the familiar sting. But Ravi's been practicing empathy, inspired by Cole. He resists the urge to argue and instead puts himself in Dad's shoes, a tool Cole suggests. What's Dad feeling? Fear, maybe, that Ravi won't be secure, rooted in love he can't express. Ravi listens, really listens, catching the worry in Dad's tone. "I get it," he says, "you want me to be safe. I feel that too, but this path lights me up." His empathy, cognitive, understanding Dad's view, and emotional, feeling his concern, shifts the dynamic. Dad nods, softer now, and they talk, not fight. Ravi's vulnerability, sharing his own dreams, deepens the bond. Cole's right. Empathy turns conflict into connection, healing rifts with understanding. Let's shift to work with Elena, a project manager facing a stressed team. Deadlines loom, and her colleague Priya's dropping balls, missing meetings, late on deliverables. Elena could snap, but she leans on empathy instead. She observes Priya's slumped posture, her quiet sighs, nonverbal cues Cole urges us to notice. During a one-on-one, Elena asks, "How are you holding up?" Priya admits her mom's in the hospital, and she's unraveling. Elena feels it, emotional empathy washing over her, the ache of juggling life and work. "I've been there," Elena shares, her own vulnerability mirroring Cole's advice to connect. "Let's lighten your load. How can I help?" Together, they reassign tasks, and Priya's relief is palpable. Elena's compassionate empathy doesn't just save the project. It lifts Priya, fostering a team where trust thrives. Cole's insight shines. Empathy in leadership isn't soft. It's strength, building loyalty through care. One more story. Meet Liam, a barista who encounters a grumpy regular, Mr. Torres. Every morning, Mr. Torres grumbles about the coffee, the wait, everything. Liam used to roll his eyes, but Cole's empathy lessons shift his lens. One slow day, Liam watches Mr. Torres, his hunched shoulders, the way he lingers alone. Liam wonders, what's his story? He tries perspective taking. Maybe Mr. Torres is lonely, the coffee shop his only tether. Chapter 5. Social Skills, Navigating Relationships. Imagine walking into a room. Any room, a buzzing party, a tense meeting, a quiet family dinner, and knowing exactly how to connect. You listen, you speak, you shift the energy, and suddenly, people feel at ease, heard, valued. It's not magic. It's social skills, the art of navigating relationships with grace and confidence. We'll dive deep into social skills, how they bring emotional intelligence to life, and how they shine in real-world moments that show their power. Social skills, as Cole explains, are the toolbox of emotional intelligence, the practical ways you turn self-awareness, regulation, motivation, and empathy into meaningful interactions. They're about communicating clearly, building trust, resolving conflicts, and inspiring others, whether you're with friends, coworkers, or strangers. It's not about being the loudest or the slickest. It's about understanding people, reading the room, and responding in ways that foster connection. Cole breaks it down: effective communication, conflict resolution, influence, collaboration, and emotional awareness in social contexts. Together, these skills make you a master of relationships, and they're learnable, no matter your starting point. Why do social skills matter? Because life is relationships. Every success, every joy, every challenge hinges on how we connect. Cole argues they're the bridge between inner EQ and outer impact, turning emotional clarity into action that shapes your world. Let's see them at work through stories that bring this to life. First, meet Jada, a graphic designer at a creative agency. Her team's brainstorming a big campaign, but the room's a mess of egos. Ideas clash, voices rise, and progress stalls. Jada could shrink back, but she's been honing her social skills with Cole's guidance. She starts with effective communication, a cornerstone Cole emphasizes. She listens actively, nodding, eye contact, no interruptions, as her loudest colleague, Marcus, pitches a wild concept. Then, she speaks clearly. "I love the energy in that, Marcus. How could we tweak it to fit the client's vibe?" Her words, concise, positive, shift the tone. She reads Marcus's grin, his need to shine, and uses nonverbal cues, open posture, a warm smile, to keep him engaged. When another teammate, Lynn, pushes back, Jada steps into conflict resolution. "Lynn, you're right about the budget. Let's find common ground. What if we scale Marcus's idea here?" Her calm focus on solutions, not blame, pulls the group together. Jada's social skills don't just save the meeting. They spark a winning pitch, proving Cole's point. Communication and collaboration turn chaos into creativity. Now, let's step into a personal scene with Tarek, a 28-year-old mechanic navigating a friendship strain. His buddy Omar's been distant since Tarek missed his birthday. Omar's texts are curt, his vibe cold. Tarek feels the sting, but leans on social skills. He starts with emotional awareness, noticing Omar's slumped shoulders at their next hangout. Following Cole's advice, he adapts, keeping his tone light but real. "Hey, man, I messed up missing your day. What's on your mind?" Omar grumbles, "Felt like you didn't care." Tarek listens, reflecting back. "I'd be hurt too if I were you." His empathy builds rapport, and he follows with trust-building authenticity. "You're my brother. I'll do better." They plan a make-up night, and Omar's grin returns. Tarek's skills, listening, adapting, being real, mend the rift, echoing Cole's idea. Social skills nurture bonds through honesty and care. Let's shift to work with Priya, a bank teller aiming for a promotion. Her manager's skeptical. She's skilled but quiet in team huddles. Priya taps into influence and persuasion, skills Cole highlights. She starts networking, chatting with colleagues about their goals, showing genuine interest. At the next meeting, she reads the room. Her boss loves data, so she shares a concise idea. "I tracked our upsells last week. A quick greeting boosted them 10%. Thoughts?" Her body language, steady, open, matches her words, and her boss nods, impressed. Priya's not manipulating. She's aligning her pitch to her boss's needs, a win-win. Cole champions. She seeks feedback later. "How'd I do?" And her boss says, "You're stepping up." Priya's social skills, communication, influence, adaptability, shift her trajectory, proving they're a ladder to success when paired with intent. One more story. Meet Clara, a retiree volunteering at a food pantry. The line's long, tempers flare, and a man snaps. This is taking forever. Clara could freeze, but she uses social skills. She reads his tense jaw, frustration, maybe hunger, and responds with calm clarity. I know it's slow today. I'm sorry. We'll get you through soon. Her tone's warm, her eye contact steady, signaling care. When another volunteer bristles, Clara resolves it. Let's split the line. Keep it moving. Her collaboration eases the chaos, and the man thanks her later. Clara's skills, communication, conflict resolution, emotional awareness, turn a tense moment into a small victory, showing Cole's truth. Social skills thrive anywhere, connecting us even in passing. These stories, Jada's team, Tarek's friendship, Priya's rise, Clara's pantry, reveal social skills reach. Cole's tools are gold. Listen actively, speak clearly, resolve with solutions, build trust through consistency, influence with understanding. They're not for show, they're for connection, making every interaction richer. Chapter 6. Applying EQ in Real Life. Imagine waking up to a day packed with moments, some small, some seismic, where you could falter or shine. A tense work call, a friend's quiet struggle, a traffic snarl that tests your patience. Now picture facing each one with a calm mind, a clear heart, and a knack for connection. That's emotional intelligence, or EQ, not just a theory, but a living, breathing tool for real life. We'll dive into how EQ, self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills comes alive in the everyday through stories that show its power in action. Cole's 6th chapter is where the rubber meets the road. It's not enough to understand EQ's pieces. You've got to use them, weaving them into the fabric of your days. This isn't about grand heroics. It's about the quiet choices that shape your world, how you handle stress, lift others, or turn conflict into growth. Cole argues EQ is a practical superpower, transforming workplaces, homes, even fleeting encounters, if you apply it with intent. Let's explore this through real-world examples that bring it home. First, let's step into the workplace with Diego, a mid-level manager at a tech startup. His team's sprinting toward a product launch, but glitches pile up and stress crackles in the air. Diego's self-awareness kicks in. He feels his chest tighten, his mind racing with worry about missing deadlines. Instead of barking orders, he uses self-regulation, a Cole staple. He pauses, breathes deep, and reframes. This is tough, but we can pivot. His calm steadies him. Then comes motivation. Diego's why is delivering something his team can be proud of. He sets a mini goal, fix one bug by lunch. At the stand-up, he taps empathy, noticing his coder Anna's furrowed brow. How's it going? He asks, listening as she vents about a crashing script. That sounds frustrating. I've been there, he says, connecting. Social skills seal it. Let's brainstorm. Anna, lead us off. Diego's clear voice and open posture rally the group. They fix the bug, momentum builds, and the launch succeeds. Diego's EQ, awareness to regulation to empathy, turns a pressure cooker into a win, proving Cole's point. EQ drives results when applied. Now, let's shift to home with May, a mom navigating a teenage storm. Her daughter, Lily, slams the door after a fight about screen time, and May's first instinct is to yell back. But EQ steps in. Self-awareness hits. She's hurt, feeling disrespected, her pulse pounding. She regulates, taking a walk to cool off, a trick Cole suggests. Her motivation? Keeping their bond strong, not winning a power struggle. May knocks gently later, empathy guiding her. I saw you were upset. Can we talk? Lily mutters about school stress, and May listens, reflecting, that sounds heavy. Her social skills shine. Eye contact, a soft tone, and she offers, let's set a phone break together. Lily nods, tension fades. May's EQ turns a clash into closeness, showing Cole's truth. Applying EQ at home builds trust, not walls. Let's try a daily grind with Sam, a delivery driver stuck in gridlock. Horns blare, his schedule's toast, and frustration bubbles. Self-awareness catches it. His grip tightens, his jaw clenches. He regulates, per coal, with mindful breathing, focusing on the wheel's texture to stay present. Motivation kicks in. Getting packages out keeps his customers happy, his why. Empathy flickers when a car cuts him off. He imagines their rush, maybe a sick kid, and lets it go. Social skills emerge at his next stop. A frazzled mom thanks him, and Sam smiles. Rough day? Hope this helps. His warmth shifts her mood. Sam's EQ turns a slog into small victories, echoing Cole's idea. EQ smooths life's edges, even in chaos. One more. Meet Aisha, a nurse facing a patient's anger. Mr. Patel snaps about a long wait, and Aisha feels defensive. Self-awareness flags it. Her shoulders tense, her pride stings. She regulates, counting to 5 silently, staying calm. Motivation drives her, easing suffering, not proving a point. Empathy flows. She sees Mr. Patel's pain, his furrowed brow, and says, I'd be upset too. Let's get you settled. Her social skills, steady voice, a nod, de-escalate him. Sorry, I'm just scared, he admits. Aisha's EQ turns a flare-up into care, proving Cole's wisdom. Applying EQ in tough moments builds bridges, not barriers. These stories, Diego's team, May's family, Sam's route, Aisha's ward, show EQ's real-life muscle. Cole's tools shine. Notice your emotions, pause to choose, lean on your why, feel with others, connect with skill. Next time, Liam smiles. Rough morning? Coffee's on me today. Mr. Torres blinks, then softens, mumbling a thanks. Over weeks, Liam chats, small stuff, weather, sports, and Mr. Torres opens up. He's widowed, isolated. Liam's empathy, understanding, feeling, acting, turns a grouch into a friend. Cole's tools, active listening, nonverbal cues, openness, work even in fleeting moments, proving empathy's reach is boundless. These stories, Sophia's classroom, Ravi's family, Elena's team, Liam's counter, show empathy's heart. Cole's strategies are gold. Listen fully, imagine their world, read their signals, suspend judgment, share a piece of yourself. It's not about fixing, it's about feeling with someone, then acting with care. Empathy builds trust, resolves tension, and deepens every bond. Chapter 7. Sustaining Emotional Intelligence. Imagine you've built a garden, lush, vibrant, full of life. You've planted the seeds of self-awareness, watered them with self-regulation, fueled them with motivation, tended them with empathy, and pruned them with social skills. It's thriving, but here's the catch. A garden doesn't stay beautiful on its own. It needs care, consistency, a steady hand through seasons of storm and sun. That's emotional intelligence, or EQ, not a one-and-done triumph, but a living practice. We'll dive into sustaining EQ, how to keep it strong for life, through stories that show it in action. Cole's 7th chapter is a call to endurance. EQ isn't a trophy you win. It's a muscle you flex, a habit you nurture as life shifts around you. The world changes, challenges evolve, and emotions ebb and flow, but with sustained effort, EQ becomes your steady anchor. Cole argues it's about weaving self-awareness, regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills into your daily rhythm, reinforcing them so they're there when you need them most. Let's see how this plays out with real-world examples that bring the journey to life. First, meet Nadia, a marketing exec in her 40s who's mastered EQ at work, until a promotion shakes her balance. More responsibility means more stress, and old habits creep back, snapping at her team, skipping reflection. She feels EQ slipping. But Nadia turns to Cole's advice on sustaining self-awareness. She restarts her daily journal, scribbling at night. Felt overwhelmed today, why? She traces it to fear of failing in her new role, a pattern she'd forgotten. Mindfulness helps too. She pauses midday, breathing deep, noticing tension in her shoulders. She asks a trusted colleague, "How am I showing up lately?" And hears, "A bit sharp. You okay?" This feedback sharpens her lens. Nadia's consistent check-ins keep her aware, not adrift, proving Cole's point. Self-awareness needs tending, like a flame you keep alive, guiding her through pressure with clarity. Now, let's visit Javier, a teacher sustaining self-regulation amid a chaotic classroom. Kids test him daily. Noise, defiance, and lately, he's slipping, raising his voice more than he'd like. Cole's tools call him back. He builds stress management into his life, morning runs to vent energy, deep breaths between classes. When a student, Mia, spills paint and giggles, Javier feels irritation flare but takes an emotional timeout, stepping to the window for a 5-count pause. He revisits triggers. Disorder unravels him, a holdover from a strict childhood, and plans ahead. Next time, I'll redirect, not react. It works. Mia's mess becomes, "Let's clean it together," and calm holds. Javier's practice, steady habits, pauses, trigger awareness, keeps his regulation strong, echoing Cole's wisdom. Consistency turns control into second nature. Let's shift to motivation with Amina, a baker chasing her dream cafe. Early passion fades as costs mount. Some days, she's ready to quit. Cole's sustaining tips reignite her. She reconnects with her why, baking for her community, honoring her mom's recipes, writing it on a sticky note by her oven. Celebrating progress keeps her going. A sold-out tray earns a quiet yes. She surrounds herself with positivity, texting her cheerleader sister after tough days. When a supplier bails, Amina visualizes her cafe's opening, flower-dusting happy faces, and pushes on. Her sustained motivation, purpose, small wins, support, carries her forward, showing Cole's truth. Drive endures when you nurture it, not chase it. Empathies turn with Sam, a nurse whose long shifts dull his edge. Patients blur together, and he's less present. Cole's sustaining call, "Stay engaged," spurs him. Sam listens more, really hears a patient, Mrs. Lee, whisper about missing her dog. He puts himself in her shoes, lonely, scared, and feels her ache. "I'd miss my pup too," he shares, his vulnerability opening a smile from her. He keeps this up, asking questions, staying open, even when tired. Each chat a thread of connection. Sam's empathy doesn't fade because he tends it, proving Cole's insight. It thrives with practice, deepening bonds over time. Finally, social skills with Priya, a freelancer growing her network. Early wins, client gigs, plateau as she coasts. Cole's advice, refine your skills, clicks. She networks actively, hosting a Zoom coffee chat, asking, "What's your next goal?" Her adaptability shines at a conference, shifting from casual banter to sharp pitches. Feedback from a mentor, "You're warm but vague," sharpens her clarity. When a client haggles, Priya listens, nods, and offers, "Let's find a rate that works," her trust building steady. Her sustained social skills, practice, flexibility, input, grow her business, echoing Cole's idea. Connection strengthens with care. These stories, Nadia's rise, Javier's calm, Amina's dream, Sam's care, Priya's network, show EQ's lifeline. Cole's tools, reflect daily, manage stress, reconnect with purpose, listen deep, refine skills, keep it alive. It's not about perfection. It's about persistence, a garden you tend through life seasons. Chapter 8. Long-term benefits and final thoughts. Imagine looking back on your life, not just at what you've achieved, but at how you've lived. The relationships you've deepened, the challenges you've faced with grace, the quiet strength you've found within. Now picture a thread running through it all, a skill that's lifted you higher, steadied you in storms, and connected you to others in ways you never dreamed. That's emotional intelligence, or EQ, and its gifts don't fade, they grow. We'll dive into the long-term benefits of EQ and Cole's final thoughts, brought to life with stories that show its enduring magic. Chapter 8 is Cole's big picture moment, the payoff of weaving self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills into your life. It's not about quick wins. It's about a legacy of impact, a compounding effect that shapes your career, relationships, and inner peace over years. Cole argues EQ is a lifelong investment. Every time you pause to reflect, choose calm, or truly hear someone, you're building a future of resilience and connection. Let's explore these benefits and see them unfold in real-world lives. First, let's look at career with Elena, a sales director who started as a shy rep. Early on, EQ was her edge. Self-awareness caught her nerves before pitches. Self-regulation kept her steady. Motivation drove her to outpace quotas. Empathy won clients' trust, and social skills sealed deals. Over a decade, these habits compound. Now, leading a team, Elena's EQ shines. She spots burnout in her crew, adjusts workloads with empathy, and inspires with clear vision. Her long-term benefit? A reputation as a leader who lifts others. Promotions follow, but so does loyalty. Her team stays, thrives, and credits her. Cole's right. EQ in your career isn't just success. It's influence, a ripple that builds a legacy of trust and growth over time. Now, relationships with Tarek, a dad in his 50s reflecting on decades with his wife, Zara. Early fights were fiery, missteps, raised voices, but EQ changed the game. Self-awareness named his triggers, regulation cooled his temper, motivation kept him committed to their bond, empathy let him feel her frustrations, and social skills turned arguments into talks. Years later, their marriage is a rock. Disagreements happen, but they listen, laugh, resolve. Their kids notice too. Grown now, they call home for advice, mirroring EQ they've learned. Tarek's benefit is a family woven tight by understanding, proving Cole's point. EQ in relationships isn't fleeting. It's a foundation, deepening ties that last a lifetime. Let's shift to mental health with Aisha, a nurse who once buckled under stress, sleepless nights, frayed nerves. EQ became her lifeline. Awareness tracked her anxiety. Regulation eased it with breathing. Motivation pushed her to care for herself. Empathy softened her self-judgment, and social skills built a support circle. Over years, Aisha's resilience grows. Shifts still tire her, but she bends, not breaks. Her long-term gift? A steady mind. Stress hits, but she copes, even thrives, mentoring younger nurses with calm. Cole's insight holds. EQ for mental health is a shield, a well of strength that deepens with every challenge faced and overcome. One more. Overall growth with Jamal, a retiree who embraced EQ late. Once gruff, solitary, he started small, journaling feelings, pausing before snapping, finding purpose in volunteering, listening to neighbors, connecting at the park. A decade on, Jamal's transformed. Friends call him warm. His community leans on him. He hikes with grandkids, shares stories, feels alive. His benefit? A richer life. EQ didn't just fix moments. It rewrote his story, showing Cole's truth. Emotional intelligence compounds into a legacy of joy, purpose, and connection that spans years. Cole's final thoughts tie it together. EQ isn't a finish line, it's a way of being. Its benefits, career wins, strong bonds, inner peace, personal growth, unfold slowly, beautifully, if you keep practicing. He urges us, start small, stay consistent, let it build. Every aware moment, every empathetic word, is a brick in a life well lived. These stories, Elena's leadership, Tarek's family, Aisha's calm, Jamal's renewal, show EQ's long game. It's not loud, it's deep, a quiet force that shapes who you become. Cole leaves us with a challenge. Live EQ daily and watch it echo through your years. Conclusion to how to master emotional intelligence and social skills. Picture yourself standing at the edge of a journey, not a physical one, but a deep, inward trek through the landscape of your emotions, your relationships, your life. You've walked through moments of clarity and chaos, learning to see yourself, steady yourself, drive yourself, feel with others, connect, and grow. That's the path we've traveled together through How to Master Emotional Intelligence and Social Skills by Tyler Andrew Cole. We'll weave the threads of this book into a final tapestry, reflecting on what emotional intelligence, or EQ, means, how it transforms us, and why it's a gift worth carrying forward, with stories that bring it full circle. Let's start where Cole begins. Self-awareness, the quiet spark that lights the way. It's the moment you pause mid-storm, say, a tense workday, and ask, what am I feeling? What? Like Sarah, the marketing manager who caught her embarrassment in a meeting and chose growth over defensiveness. Self-awareness is your mirror. Cole shows it's not a one-off. It's a habit, a daily glance inward that grounds you for everything else. Then comes self-regulation, the steady hand on the wheel. It's choosing calm when life tempts you to crash, like Marcus, the coder who breathed through a critique and kept his team on track. Cole teaches us it's not suppressing emotion, but steering it, building resilience with pauses, reframes, and routines. It's the power to act, not react, a skill that holds you steady through life's waves. Motivation follows, the fire in your belly. It's the why that lifts you. Like Amina, the nurse dreaming of her clinic, pushing past doubt with purpose and small wins. Cole reveals it's not about fleeting hype, but a deep well of intrinsic drive, sustained by goals and vision, turning dreams into steps you can climb. Empathy steps in, the heart of it all. It's feeling with someone, like Sophia, the teacher who heard her students' pain and built trust instead of walls. Cole's 3 layers: understanding, sharing, acting. Make it a bridge, a way to connect that's learnable, not innate. It's the warmth that turns strangers into allies, conflicts into closeness. Social skills bring it outward, the art of relationship, like Jada, the designer who rallied her team with clear words and calm resolve. Cole shows their tools, listening, adapting, influencing, that make EQ tangible, shaping how you're seen, heard, and remembered in every room you enter. Applying EQ in real life ties it together, like Diego, the manager who wove all 5 into a launch triumph, or May, the mom who softened a teen spat with patience and care. Cole insists it's not theory. It's practice, a daily choice to use EQ in the mess of work, home, and beyond, turning moments into momentum. Sustaining EQ keeps it alive, like Nadia, the exec who journaled through stress, or Sam, the nurse who stayed empathetic despite exhaustion. Cole's call is clear. EQ needs tending, consistent habits, small acts, to thrive through life seasons, a garden you nurture, not neglect. Finally, the long-term benefits seal the promise, like Elena's leadership legacy, Tarek's unbreakable family, Aisha's resilient mind, Jamal's late-life joy. Cole's vision is profound. EQ compounds, shaping a career of impact, bonds of depth, a self that bends but doesn't break, a life of meaning that echoes for years. So what's the heartbeat of this book? It's a story of transformation, not instant, but steady. Cole doesn't promise perfection. He offers a path. Start with awareness, build with practice, and watch it grow. Picture Priya, a shy freelancer who once froze in crowds. She began with self-awareness, naming her nerves, then regulated them with breaths, found motivation in her art, showed empathy to clients, and honed social skills at meetups. Years later, she's a confident connector. EQ didn't just change her moments, it rewrote her life. Or think of Ravi, A dad who once clashed with his son. He learned to see his anger, cool it, stay driven by love, feel his kid's world, and talk with care. Now, their bond is a quiet strength. EQ's gift wasn't a fix. It was a foundation built brick by brick. Cole's final thought is a whisper and a shout. EQ is yours to claim. It's not a talent you lack or a peak you can't reach. It's a skill, a choice, a way of being that starts today. Every time you pause to feel, choose to listen, or push through doubt, you're living it. And the beauty? It multiplies, lifting you, then others, then the world around you. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and please remember to subscribe to receive notification of upcoming recordings. See you in next video.